Hello, my name is Tessa Brucefin, and this is my introduction and overview video for Music Methods, Music 562. So the first question is, briefly describe where you attended elementary school and whether there was music class with a music teacher. So I went to a private Christian school in Moscow, Idaho called Logos School. It didn't have the typical band teacher or music teacher experience, but we did have, we did learn recorders in second grade, and we did attend choir all through my time in elementary school, where we learned music theory and sang, obviously, did harmonies, rounds, that sort of thing. So yeah, I did have music teachers of sorts in my little private Christian school. Number 2, when did you decide to pursue music education? So loose term on the word pursue. When I was 16, I was told by my piano teacher at the time that I knew everything that she knew and I could go out and teach others if I wanted. And teaching has always been something that I've loved to do. I learn a new skill, I want to tell someone about it. That's just how my brain is hardwired. So naturally, I was like, yes, I want to teach others about music because it radically changed my life for the better. So of course I want to tell others about it. So I started teaching when I was 16 and taught all through my undergrad at the University of Idaho. I actually got my degree in business marketing. And this was with the intentionality that I could understand the business world so that I could open a music studio. Fast forward, moved to Bellingham, Washington, and realized that there is so much more that I want to know and so much more that I would love to learn about both music and teaching. So even though I have taught for many years, I've never taken a teaching class in my whole life. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to apply to Western, try to get into the music education master's program, and for some reason, y'all let me in, and here I am. And it's just with the intentionality of hoping that I can become the most proficient, knowledgeable, and well-equipped teacher that I can possibly be. So I decided to officially pursue music education in 2019 when I applied and got accepted at Western. What traits do I have? This is number 3. What traits do I have that will help me succeed as a music educator? So I always get slightly uncomfortable talking about myself, but I came up with 3 traits. The first one is I'm very enthusiastic and joyful. I feel like that's pretty necessary for an effective teacher, because if your teacher is excited and enthusiastic about what they're talking about, then as the learner, it is just so much more engaging, and makes you enthusiastic about learning. It's funny how that works. So yeah, I'm very enthusiastic and joyful. The second thing is I'm a very patient person, and I feel like that goes hand in hand with teaching, because you have to have a level of patience in order to teach, because learning doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't usually. It usually takes time. It's a process. So you have to be patient and diligent and persevere in trying to teach and lead someone to fully learn. And that could take a long time. But it is the most rewarding thing as a teacher when your student finally has that light bulb moment and it all makes sense. Then it makes all of that work completely worthwhile, and it's the most rewarding thing. So yeah, second, I'm a patient person. And lastly, I didn't have a good one-word summary, but I figured connective kind of encompassed a few things. So I'm a very connective person, and what I mean by that is that I'm a very good listener, and I understand people well. And I feel like that is absolutely key when being a teacher, because you need to know who you're teaching, or else what you say and how your approach to communication is really void. So yeah, I'm a connective person, and I think that's absolutely necessary as you're being an effective teacher. So those were my 3 traits. And then for number 4, it says choose one other question to self from the first chapter. State it, respond with your answer. So when I was looking over the questions, there was a lot of really good ones. But most of them had to do with the teacher, and I liked the first one because it had to do with the learner, and that's really where you ought to start. So the first question, this is page 5 under questions to self, says, what do I believe about learners? So when I was thinking about it, there's really 2 things that really popped into my head. The first thing is that everyone's a learner. We come into this world not knowing anything, and so we're just trying to make sense of it and understand. And so each and every one of us, no matter our circumstances, we're all learners. And then the second thing is that every learner can be successful. Now, not all learners are the same. Some people, it's just a linear trajectory of getting to success. Others need to beat around the bush. And there's some of us like myself. Sometimes there's a little ping pong action. But you know what? At the end of the day, each and every one of us can be successful. It boils down to having a good teacher that knows their students, truly knows how each and every one of them learn, so that they can communicate in a way that can get each and every student to that success mark. So, yeah. And then for number 5, it says, read through the list of 15 P's, select one of these effective pedagogical practices. Once you've reread the paragraph describing the term, expand on why this particular P connects with you. So I will be reading from page 14, and the P that I particularly liked was actually number 14 as well. So double 14 makes it easy. It's playfulness, the state of having fun, high spirits, lively. So this is what's written. Peggy Bennett wrote that playfulness implies an openness to possibility. She further indicates that a playful attitude allows for moments of fun and unexpected outcomes. It allows for children to see their teachers as members of the community, perhaps not always the one in control. Through playfulness, imaginations are cultivated. Some of my favorite memories of specific lessons are linked to the playful atmosphere hanging in the air. Laughter and liveliness lighten the intensity and mood of the classroom. It really is okay to be silly when silliness is a human reaction or trigger for whatever is occurring. The first time I really belly laughed in a kindergarten classroom, I rolled backwards with delight. The students piled on top of me, literally. Being playful is a sign of a healthy human being. Maturity outlines and frames how that playfulness can be displayed. So that particularly connected with me because it just is so true. I think about different classroom experiences where, for example, maybe the teacher is a little bit dull, very monotone. The classroom air was kind of solemn. Or I've even had professors that are just a little bit intense and intimidating. And that really does not create a very effective learning environment. And then I have those experiences, and that can counter against the classrooms where the teachers are engaging with the students. They're asking questions. They're being spontaneous. They're directing the conversation in a way where you don't know what's happening next, where you're learning without knowing that you're learning, which honestly I believe is how it really should be. But that classroom dynamic, I learned far more from that than the classroom where things were dull. So yeah, I feel like playfulness takes a big toll on how successful our students can be. So yep, those are my answers and responses, and I am very excited for the rest of this course.